Good evening, and welcome to today's City Council meeting. Today is Tuesday, June 20th, 2023. The time is now 6 p.m. The regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Trinidad will not come to order. The person as well as and I say welcome to tonight's meeting. Apologize that we're not elevated, but we can see maybe a little bit better, but because of the circumstances we have, this is the best we can do. Have a roll call, please.
Ivana.
Here.
Griego. Here. Ogletree. Here. Shu.
Here.
Thurman.
Here.
Williamson.
Here.
Rico.
Good. Item 2, approval of the agenda. I'd like to please rise for the pledge.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 2, approval of the agenda.
I'm not in charge of that.
48 and 8G.
Correct answer.
Motion, please.
Mayor and Council, I'm sorry to interrupt. Probably you need to speak directly into the microphone so everyone can hear you. So you guys can share this one or that one or that. And let me turn this down so there you go.
I move that we delete agenda items 4A and 8 and 8G. Second.
Call roll, please.
Ivana.
Yes.
Griego.
Yes.
Ogletree. Yes. Shu. Yes. Thurman.
Yes.
Williamson. Rico.
Yes. The other item that I think that we need to dispense with is item, well, we already did that, great. Petitions and communication form are written. I want to say thank you for joining us tonight. And tonight is a listening session by council to the constituents of the city of Trinidad. So I want to listen to you tonight. Some rules for the night is kindly ensure all electronic devices, including cell phones, are either turned off or set in silent mode. Out of respect for all attendees, we request the removal of hats and other head coverings during the meeting unless required for religious or medical reasons. Participants wishing to address council are required to state their full name, legal name, for the official record. Please note the City Council will not respond immediately to comments raised under petitions and communications. However, council or staff members will address and follow up on all inquiries as appropriate. We ask each speaker to maintain a respectful and courteous demeanor, refraining from personal attacks and use of foul or abusive language. The civil discourse is appreciated and expected at all times. We request all audience members to respect others' rights, and not causing noises or disturbances that could potentially disrupt the proceedings of the meeting. We request that the council may exclude the executive session and not seconds. Forwards, please. Give us time for and the purpose of that is so that it doesn't distract us. We want to give our full attention to the speakers at the podium. So please, we'll give you the opportunity to raise your sign again.
Understood. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. Looks like we have 5 people that have signed up. Mr. Chris Miller. Yes, we're going to go ahead and do this 5 minutes because we have to spend that lots of people.
Might be too late.
Probably too late, huh? Is it too late to sign up on that thing? I got here late. It is too late, okay. There's always next month, right?
Yes.
And we will go strictly to that 5-minute time frame.
I'm gonna call you something, all right?
I don't reflect my good nature.
Yeah, you're loving sweetness.
Exactly.
We've got a lot of pounds of food.
I'll do my best. Good evening, I thought you were getting rid of me, but too quick. Mayor.
State your name,
Well, let's see my script. My name is Chris Miller, and I've lived here enjoyed being here for the last 6 years. Consider it my home. Mayor, City Council, city staff, citizens of Trinidad. What about that earthquake?
You haven't been to Japan, huh?
I'm here today to express my confidence in this governing body and my excitement and confidence about the many events and entertainment opportunities developing in this magical little town. All the music venues, the gift shops, the museums, theater. It's a wonderful little town, and it deserves tender loving care. With that in mind, I wish to offer my professional advice relative to I passed out to copies of this. It's in memo form to the Trinidad, Colorado City Council from Chris Miller, Consultant, Marketing and Tourism. Subject promotion of events in Trinidad. The following recommendations for neutral promotion events by the City of Trinidad. I have 3 points, very simple, you can elaborate on them when you make your decisions. Continue to provide a full calendar of legal events. This is a service to the citizens and visitors. Discrimination should be avoided. This listing of events does not indicate endorsement by the city. Add a possible disclaimer. This calendar of events is provided as a service only and does not indicate endorsement of one or all listed activities. Number 2, the city's marketing funds should be used to promote Trinidad in June, highlighting the endless opportunities for visitors. This would include marketing dollars spent by all departments and boards. Third, as your tourism board makes its recommendations on grants for events and activities, develop a fair criteria for determining amounts provided without discrimination or endorsement. The diversity reflected by citizens of Trinidad is represented by an equally diverse city council. In a diverse community, not everyone is going to be excited about all activities, especially those the ones they don't believe in and do not wish to attend. However, everyone has the right to participate in those activities that interest them, as long as it is legal. Again, we've got a wonderful community here. You all know that. I've learned it tenfold in my last 6 years. And I just would like to see everybody be peaceful and positive and enjoy this magical little place.
Thank you, Lord. Can Espinosa?
Good evening. I thank council today. Y'all want to start that, otherwise I'll be up here all night. I can do that. First, I want to thank Council for allowing us all the opportunity to speak, and I appreciate your support of allowing discourse among the community today about an issue that has certainly touched the hearts and minds of all Trinidadians, it seems like. I am a third-generation Trinidadian. I came here after my grandparents immigrated here from Italy and from Mexico to dig coal out of the ground. My great-grandparents lived here, my grandparents lived here, and my mother still lives here. And so do I, and my daughter. And so therefore it is of vital importance to me about the way that the City Council makes its decisions for all of the citizens of Trinidad. I come to you today not just as a member of the Trinidad community, but also a member of the faith community. I will proudly tell you that I am a follower of Jesus Christ, that I have accepted him as my Lord and Savior, and I will also tell you that he has no business in City Council policy. There are many of you that sit before me, and I can tell you quite honestly, I think I voted for every single one of you. And I would hope that you take the time to separate your own personal religious views when you consider policy for the city. Trinidad is a welcoming place. I am one person from Trinidad who is not ashamed to say that at one time we were the sex change capital of the world. And that demonstrates our openness, and that it demonstrates our acceptance of all people who come here, who, as Mr. Miller said, make this place magical. When we list events that are going on in Trinidad, that is a wonderful thing. Because there was a time, and I'm sure many of you will remember, when Trinidad was near dead, and where things like that were not going on. I agree that the fact that something is listed on a Facebook page does not mean endorsement. And if we are going to list events on the city's Facebook page, then we should do so without any, either we should accept all types of religion that are there, or we should accept none. I would note that the city's Facebook page promotes things like Noah's Ark. It also promotes things such as the Mount Carmel Wellness Center and the Sister Blandina Gardens, all of which promote Catholicism in our community. And there are certainly a large number of people here who are Catholic. In fact, I noted that when somebody described this band's music, they said it was pain, misery, and cannibalism. Sounds like it's a Catholic mass to me. After all, John 6, verses 50 through 56 state, "Verily I say unto you, ye shall eat my flesh and drink my blood, and ye shall have eternal life." What I am asking the council to do today is simply to separate what your own personal views are from the views that we hope that you would hold as the people who sit in the seats that we entrust you to. Please do not let democracy die in executive session. Please know that we can trust you to make decisions that are the best for all people in the city of Trinidad. I am excited by Trinidad's growth. I am excited by its vibrancy. I welcome the new people who have come here. I thank you for the opportunity to address you. Thank you.
Robert Jolly.
I am new to Trinidad. I've been here less than 2 years. I love the diversity that is here. I love the fact that I can walk down the street and I can see every type of person there is in this nation. I am from Denver. I was born in 1949, so I've seen a lot in my lifetime. I've seen many things. So I'm not going to talk anymore about this because there are other people here with more knowledge about what's going on. But I would like to make a suggestion. I spent 24 years working for RTD in Denver. I started out as a bus driver, and in 3 years I became an instructor. After that, I moved to light rail 10 years later. In my time, I instructed many people on how to drive buses, how to get around the city without getting into accidents, without having to fight with their passengers. A bus driver basically is a police officer without a gun. I also helped start and build light rail. So you all know the success of light rail in lived, and it became a prime example of how transportation could spread. I have a suggestion for your city on how to create a transportation system based on the old way. Going back to your glowing history of miners and things that go on in the past. You could have a transportation system here that was pulled by mules and wagons. It would cost you almost nothing to do. And it would be a wonderful thing for people to come and see. And you could clear up your traffic. You could get rid of some of the Texans who drive around here. Because they have to obey the law. The law would say that the buggy has the right of way. So think about it, and if you want to talk some more about it, and I can tell you my history, I can give you my background. Like I said, I have a story to tell, but I got a transportation system that I'm trying to build. Thank you.
Thank you. Jason Decker.
Hi, my name is Jason Decker, Mayor, Council. Thank you for having me here today. We've been in Trinidad for over 2 years now, and we were overwhelmed with the incredible welcome that we got from the majority of the community. It's really been a blessing to live here, and we've enjoyed just about every minute of it so far until recently. We were warned before we got here that people would come after us, they would attempt to ruin our lives, just for not being from Trinidad, or for any reason that they may find. Al Capone doesn't live here anymore, but there are modern-day gangsters who live in Trinidad. Some of them are city employees that have been there over 30 years. Some are anonymous members of the community, and occasionally elected members get involved as well. There have been coordinated attacks on people going on for decades. They will attempt to ruin people. Anyone that they decide they do not like is from out of town. People get death threats. They get things in their mail threatening them, anonymous text messages. They will try to come after their business owner, their business. They will try to come after their family, ruin their name, call them cannibals, Satanists, Nazis, say they're in a cult. This needs to end. We are one community here together, and I believe everyone in this room is trying to make it better in their own way. We're wasting time here right now that we making the city better, arguing over from these modern day mafia. This needs to end now.
Could you please stop and look out and on the next person? Christian Carr.
I have a suggestion I'd like to bring in for Dave Miller. I said it here last week when I looked it up, it said the 3rd and the 20th, which should be couple meetings, so I'm not sure what happened. But he's suggesting it's what they have on that 3 votes on booth at the parking market, or the ones who yell because of the public, because of you. I'll get it up. A couple times I've been here, I've been out in public visiting, bring that public information. Other times I'd like to take is, in the West, with veterans in the community, like lower income, like the veteran group, they know that I have issues. Finding consultant lists, finding facilities, and offering special projects. So, with a booth, I'm sure I lost some track here. Farmers market, we have somebody there, and they remind anybody to call up, talk to him, the city council. We have great success with it on the Steamboat Springs. And we both read on the list of veterans in the area that have
Thank you.
Okay, that concludes our petition. The communications are all written. I did want to mention that we did get 4 written notes from some of the residents that regularly talked about the same things that you talked about tonight. And one that was totally different. So I just want to mention to you that we did get some written information.
Mayor, there we.
On to item 5, consent agenda approval. Item 5A, approval of the regular meeting minutes of June 6, 2023, and special meeting minutes of June 12, 2023. Item B, transfer of ownership of the tavern liquor license filed by El Rancho Restaurant LLC at 1901 Santa Fe Trail, formerly Gina Loren, doing business as El Rancho Restaurant. Set for public hearing on July 5th, 2023 at 6 p.m. Item C, approval of temporary permit application filed by the El Rancho Restaurant LLC at 1901 Santa Fe Trail, effective July 2023. Item D, approval of the bills in the amount of $1,770,068. Item E, approval of the payroll June 10, 2023 to June 23rd, 2023, in the amount of $457,641.09. Entertain a motion, please. A second?
Second.
Call roll, please.
Yes.
Yes. Ogletree? Yes. Shu?
Yes.
Thurman?
Yes.
Williamson?
Yes.
Rico?
Yes. Item 6, we originally had a public hearing. There was a transfer of ownership of the tavern liquor license filed by Sexy Pizza 5 LLC, doing business as a Sexy Pizza at 560 Elm Street, formerly Foxy Limos LLC, doing business as Grandma's House. We got a request by the applicant for continuance to July the 5th, 2023. Take the motion for continuance.
I move that we continue item 6A until July 5th.
Need a second?
Second.
Call roll, please.
DeBono?
Yes.
Diego? Yes. Ogletree? Yes. Shu?
Yes.
Thurman?
Yes.
Williamson?
Yes.
Rico?
Yes. Item 7, unfinished business. 7A, consideration of change orders, 16 and 17 for the Fox West Theater in the amount of $602,689.59. I asked for that to be changed, or taken for tonight for the simple reason there were some questions that I had on the windows, and then the amount of the windows. And we did meet with along with Mr. Ruger, we met with the contractor and they explained the reasons why. So I'm okay with that. So I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second?
Second?
Any discussion?
I have a question. So explain to us what you learned, because I did not know.
Well, what it was is that my question was there were some windows that I thought the way it was explained in information that they might be permanent interior windows. And the interior windows were supposed to be insulated glass. And I thought that was probably just excessive to put insulated glass windows in a structure that's going to, somewhere that's going to be interior afterwards. After talking to the contractor, we determined that those windows are going to be on the exterior, but there are going to be some windows that are going to be on the interior that are just going to be finished the way they are now, and they will be on the interior. So that would, they cleared that up. Any other questions?
Mr. Mayor, if I can just borrow the microphone, if I can add to that. So the issue is we can't, from the state historical preservation side, do anything with the external windows. So they are listed as internal windows, but they will basically be reinforcement for the exterior windows that we have to remain in their integrity. So while it would make sense just to replace all the exterior windows with modern double glass pane and make them look great and modern and new, we're not allowed to do that. So that's part of why the cost is what it is.
One of the things that I did ask the contractor, maybe go back to the state historical, because I from my previous life, I do know that there were some windows, new windows, that meet state historical standards, and he was just going to ask the question. Whether they agree with it or not, we don't know. So, anyway, it is what it is at this point in time.
Mr. Ruger, could you explain to us what the source of funds is?
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, absolutely. This is all funded by various grants. So it's part of funding that we've already had available through DOLA, Colorado Creative Industries, and so the funding is there. It's budgeted for specifically for this use. We're good to go on funding on this, but mostly grant funded for this portion of it. Okay.
Any other questions? Call roll, please.
Bono?
Yes.
Griego? Yes. Ogletree? Yes. Shu?
Yes.
Thurman?
Yes.
Williamson?
Yes.
Rico?
Yes. Item 8, miscellaneous business. 8A, consideration of purchase of two 2024 Silverado 2500 HD four-wheel drive, long bed for the Public Works in the amount of $98,200. Now it's to Daniels Long Automotive. Each vehicle is $49,100. And this will come from the marijuana funds. And is Mr. Just here tonight? I'll entertain a motion first, please.
So moved to purchase the Silverado vehicles for the Public Works.
Need a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Just.
Good evening, Mayor, members of council. Yeah, we're basically trying to update the fleet. We have a bunch of old trucks, and we found a couple trucks from Daniels, so we'd like to pursue it. They're not available now, but by the time they come in, hopefully they'll be available.
You know when they might be available? Have they given you any indication?
What did they say when they might be in?
End of the year.
If we're lucky. We hear that sort of time.
Yeah, just for the public's knowledge, we've run into this before. Bought vehicles, and lots of vehicles actually a year and a half ago, they're still not here. And it's just because the times the way they are with product being available. So hopefully maybe this will be at the end of the year like she said. Any other questions?
I have a question. On funding, I don't know if you know this, Mr. Just. I thought I could see.
On the funds for the two trucks, do we know what quarter of marijuana funds that's going to be paid for? Is it there already and we're holding it until the trucks come? Or will they be allocated future?
Bob, you can speak to that, or I can too, and I'll try to talk very loud. The funding's already been allocated for these trucks.
Other questions?
What are the miles on the truck that we currently have? Do you know how?
They vary anywhere from 115 to a couple 100,000. It just varies.
They're just broken, in other words.
Broke is right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
If there are no further questions, call vote, please.
Bono?
Yes.
Griego? Yes. Ogletree? Yes. Shu?
Yes.
Thurman?
Yes.
Williamson?
Yes.
Rico?
Yes. Item 8B, consideration of 2024 Silverado 2500 HD four-wheel drive crew cab short bed for the fire department in the amount of $52,860 from Daniels Long Automotive. Entertain a motion.
I think that we approved the purchase of the Silverado 2500 for the fire department.
Need a second? Second. Discussion, Chief, are you here?
Folks tonight. So we talked about it in work session, and then you saw my council communications. If you guys have any other questions for me.
Any questions, Mark? Chief?
Is the vehicle that you're using now, is the vehicle that you're using now still going to be in service after this one?
It will be. It'll be used for travel out of town and any training that we're representing our folks do.
And how much extra equipment is that gonna be included in this? Do you have any extra equipment?
We do, we'll have to purchase radios and lights and sirens.
And that'll be a separate.
And that'll be a separate deal that I'll come to you for.
Any idea what that additional cost would be?
They're talking between 6,000 and 8,000 ounces, and it's as expensive as a police car.
No bad. Okay. Any other questions? Call the vote, please.
Camona?
Yes.
Griego? Yes. Ogletree? Yes. Shu?
Yes.
Thurman?
Yes.
Williamson?
Yes.
Rico?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 8C, first reading of an ordinance authorizing a property exchange and a separate purchase certain real property owned by the city of Trinidad to OK Ranch and from OK Ranch to the city of Trinidad, setting the public hearing for consideration of said ordinance to 6 p.m. July the 5th, 2023. Need someone to introduce? Entertain a motion?
So moved.
Second. Discussion, Mr. Ruger.
Mr. Mayor, this is just something that's a long time. Let me come up here. Sorry. I have the next two items too, so I'll just hang out here. Mayor, this is a long time coming. This is a property exchange and something that the council authorized, I believe, 2 years ago. So we've been waiting on a survey for this land from our surveyor. We finally got that in and we're ready to move forward on the purchase. And tremendous opportunity, I think, for the city from an economic development standpoint and just in general, our expansion of being that outdoor tourist destination that I think we're all looking to be. So I'm happy to answer any questions about this, but I think this is just such a tremendous thing for the community, and I'm so proud that we're finally to this point to bring this forward to you all.
And just out of curiosity, and I'll turn over, but with the exchange as well as the purchase, what are we looking at? I think it's close to 280 acres. Is that
That's right. Mr. Chairman. I believe it's about that, yes. And endless opportunities to go with that.
questions from council?
I just want to say that we had the opportunity to go out, we had the opportunity earlier this year, last year, I remember when it was, to go out and see it, and it is some of the most beautiful land I've ever seen in this world. It looks out over the lake, it's gorgeous, it's a great thing to do.
Any other questions? And just for the public's information, this is some property that we're getting. It's adjacent to the Trinidad Lake State Park, and this is beautiful views, and just opportunities for additional recreational opportunities, for tourists as well as the residents of the city of Trinidad. So we feel that this is a good opportunity as we try to expand our recreational opportunities for everybody. So, any questions? Call roll, please.
Camona?
Yes.
Griego? Yes. Ogletree? Yes. Shu?
Yes.
Thurman?
Yes.
Williamson?
Yes.
Rico?
Yes. Item 8D, resolution adopting development planning fee schedule. Entertain a motion?
So
Need a second? Okay. Mr. Ruger.
Mr. Mayor, we presented this to you in a work session, or your last work session. Just really happy to reiterate that by and large, all the development services fees that we're proposing tonight will reduce the fees for developers. It's tremendously important as we embrace wanting to be a developer-friendly and have processes that are developer-friendly that we adopt these fees. So this aligns with the ordinance that you all recently adopted to amend Chapter 14. And particularly what we've done is reduced a lot of the redundant fees that are required for various stages of the process. So we have a consolidated process now for most of our land use applications. I think the most important thing though, and it did come up in the work session, so I wanted to reiterate that as well. Staff feels very confident that we will be recouping our costs and our fees through the proposed fees that you have before you tonight. So we're very comfortable with this, and we're very happy that we're getting to a point where we're being as reasonable as possible. And I'll stand for any questions that you might have on it.
Questions from council? Questions? None? Okay. And just for some more additional information, Mr. Mike Ehrman was hired, and he did a lot of this work for us and gave us these recommendations to streamline the process for the various application fees that we do have. So he did a real good job for us and streamlined and helped developers and other people that were to do things in the city, to make it easier for them to come in and fill out the application and move forward with everything. Call the roll, please.
DeBona?
Yes.
Griego? Yes. Ogletree? Yes. Shu?
Yes.
Thurman?
Yes.
Williamson?
Yes.
Rico?
Yes. Item 8E, resolution certifying the zoning map. Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Discussion, Mr. Ruber.
Mr. Mayor, I do want to highlight a couple of things on this. So, as part of our municipal code, including the revised Chapter 14, we're required to have a current copy of our zoning map on our website and available in the office of the city clerk for public review. It's tremendously important that we keep up with our zoning map and inform the public and developers what our zoning looks like throughout the community. So this accomplishes a big goal, keeps us in line with your ordinance, and we will be bringing an annual update to you all every year. We contracted with a company out of Denver, McCool, development company, and they've been just great in assisting us in making sure we have exactly what we need to meet the requirements.
And we do have to recertify the zoning map yearly, because as you know, if things do change, they have to be included with any changes, so there's recertification. So, questions from council?
Quick question. So I'm looking at the map here on my tablet. Are there any major changes from the prior years' map?
Nothing major. There were a few small developments where there was a zone change requested that is now encompassed in this map, but no major changes to any area or anything like that. So all the changes that are reflected, I believe there's only 3 of them since the last update, are for individual businesses or sites where they requested a zone change.
Additional comments? Call the vote, please.
DeBona?
Yes.
Griego?
Yes.
Ogletree? Yes. Shu?
Yes.
Thurman?
Yes.
Williamson?
Yes.
Rico?
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Ruber. Item F, selection of Colorado Municipal League, CML voting delegate. This next Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, Mr. Ruger, myself, and Mayor Pro Tem Ms. Ogletree, will be attending the annual conference. And so one thing, we will not be having a work session on Monday like we typically have. But what happens is we need a delegate to that will take, and during that time while we're there, they have some new board of directors that are voted on. And my recommendation this year is that we get Ms. Ogletree as the delegate to the voting person. So I need to entertain a motion if there's any questions.
Any questions? Agree with that.
Need a second?
Second.
Okay. Call the vote, please.
DeBona?
Yes.
Griego?
Yes.
Ogletree? Yes. Shu?
Yes.
Thurman?
Yes.
Williamson?
Yes.
Rico?
Yes. On to council reports. Start at this end, Mr. Bono.
First of all, from the Los Angeles County Veterans Council, there's going to be an educational seminar, expanded VA care and benefits, to learn more about veterans benefits. It's going to be held this Thursday at 10 a.m. in Los Angeles County Courthouse, Commissioners' Chambers at 10 a.m. And this session is open to veteran spouses and caregivers. It's presented by the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs VBA Outreach Coordinator Corey Gilman and Los Angeles County Veteran Service Officer Ray Odom. Also, on July 4th, the Los Angeles County Veterans Memorial Committee presents the 2023 4th of July Parade, and the water parade as well in downtown Trinidad. Again, Tuesday, July 4th, 10 a.m., featuring the Trinidad Water Parade and the Fort Carson Marching Band and Color Guard. And there's going to be a picnic served at Chuma Park following the parade and ceremony, so hopefully everybody can join the festivities. Oh yes, the fish fry. You're talking about the fish fry, Mr. Mayor? Yeah, there was a great turnout. They had a Southern Gulf fish fry a couple of weeks ago at Fort Wooten, and it was very well attended. They put on some really great events there. They'll have another event soon, I think in September, and then they'll have their annual gun show towards the end of the year in September. So they're putting a lot of good things at the Fort Wooten Memorial Hall.
Squiggle?
The only thing I have to report from my committee is the Urban Forestry Board was in charge of the Goat Festival, Rodeo Festival, Saturday, and it was sparsely attended, and I think it's because of the change in leadership and from the beginning of the planning to now. So we have nothing, nowhere to go but up.
So,
The Arts and Culture Commission, Advisory Commission met, and they are continuing to work on various projects and still looking for additional board members. I think they only have 4 right now, and they could really use some additional help, so I hope people consider that. They're taking a month off in July, so to accommodate travel schedules, and they're doing good work. I got to go with a bunch of us. We're at the Sister Blandina public park opening, and I just want to make sure people know that now that park will be open to the public during the day, I believe Tuesday through Sunday, and you're free to go in there and enjoy just the peace and quiet. It's a very nice setting. So that and the Triggers will play tonight. So maybe if we get out of here, we can go.
Mr. Thurman.
I'm the liaison for Parks and Rec. We're having a meeting tomorrow in this very location. We're going to talk about the future of the golf course and the future of the pickleball league. And hopefully I will see a lot of your faces here if we got time. And we're going to talk about some trails, so please come by.
Mr. Williamson.
I have no council report, Mayor.
I attended last week. There was a homeless meeting, and the community was invited. There were probably, 30 people there? Yeah. And as you know, we do have a homeless population problem here in Trinidad, and how we approach that is going to be of importance. And we had Jennifer, Detective Lay. She is kind of ramrodding this and kind of has done a couple of presentations, but she also did this presentation as well. We also had someone there from the Puente from in Alamosa, how their program works and what they're doing. So it was interesting to see what their perspective is on homeless. So they are going to continue meeting. I know there have been some people in the past that have been interested in homeless, and you can participate because it is advertised that they're going to be meeting in the meeting. I'm not sure when the next meeting is. Do you know?
Mayor will be here at Space to Create. I forget the date, but we will.
June 28th.
June 28th.
June 28th. Thank you. Last week also, this was very interesting, and I really enjoy things like this. Carol Bordeaux has a painting of a bunch of cattle in a field, and this is probably at least a 5-foot by 7-foot painting. It's pretty big. And Arts and Cultures came to City Council some time back and asked if we would allow the purchase of that, which we did. Carol Bordeaux's daughter was there, but not only was her daughter there, but some of her family members that came as far away from Montana. And we had some additional local residents. And it was good to see because Miss Bordeaux's husband was there. And it was good to accept something from Miss Bordeaux. She was an excellent artist, and it depicts the agricultural industry in this area. And I think that's something that we need to continue to do, is to say thank you to the ag industry for what they do for us. I also attended a passenger rail update. There were representatives there from the current rail district as to what they're doing right now. As you know, there will be some more additional events that they will have where the public are invited to give their opinions on the rail district. That's something that we know is going to be long-term. And that is, for those of you who don't know what that is there is the possibility in the future to continue the rail, Amtrak rail, coming from Trinidad all the way straight north, Walsenburg, Pueblo, and further north. The concentration for the rail district now is what they call through-car service, which is a bypass And it'll still continue to come through Trinidad, but it'll continue to come to Lahaina, Puerto Pueblo, and then further north. That's going to be their main concentration for the near future. When I was on the original commission, I was constantly pushing for a continuance straight through and down here. There's some things that can be done, I believe, because there's $66 billion that was appropriated by the Biden administration for rail, and Colorado is going to get some of that money. So the whole thing is to try to get some of that money to do some of this work. But it's going to be probably a 10 to 15 year project before all this stuff is done. The earlier projection was somewhere between $7 to $14 billion. Who knows what it will be in 10 years. But that's the original kind of projection. So there's something that could be happening with rail at this point in time, but we're going to continue working on that. Also attended the Sister Blandina opening, which is very nice to attend. Back in March, I went to Washington, D.C. and attended the Association of Defense Communities. And they had asked me last week to attend a virtual meeting today. And I attended, and the concern with the military, actually twofold. One is getting new people to sign up for the military and retention. They're struggling with that right now. The other thing that they're very concerned about, the Chinese buying property close to military encampments, and they don't actually have to be right next to it. They can be within 99 miles of an encampment before, and so they're very concerned. As a matter of fact, some states are actually banning the Chinese from buying property in their areas. Because what they're doing is they are buying these properties and they're setting up shell companies so that they can't be tracked. And the government is trying to track these people or these entities. So there's a big concern there, so I just want to mention that. The last thing I want to mention, Mr. Ruger, is this. I talked today to a lady from Holy Trinity Academy, and they are concerned that there are no, walk things for going across in all directions. If we could do something maybe before school starts, because people just zoom through there and there's no stop signs and crosswalks. So if we could do something for them, I think that'd be great. That is all I have. Mr. Ruger, what do you have?
Mr. Mayor, I think Ms. Lechich would like to say a couple of things today. Long walk. It is long.
It is a long walk. Good evening, Council and Mayor. I just wanted to get up here because, it's been a while. I don't get up here often enough. I wanted to talk. I talk loud. Am I too loud? Okay. Anyway, sometimes people get tired of listening to me talk about what good employees we have, but I couldn't let this opportunity pass. I don't know if anybody's noticed, but on Monday, we had 17 of our employees go out and clean up all underneath the overpass, the buttresses, the parking lot next to the gas station, and I just wanted to acknowledge them. We had Matt Condon, Garrett Newman, and Chief Backrack from the fire department out there in their hot fire gear helping us with their chainsaws. Mark Behill, Dave Bachicha, Lucas Capes, Steve Carone, Michael Wells, Dave Lovato, Joe Escabel from the Public Works, Charlie Benino from the Finance Department, Nate Eadman, Gary Terry from Engineering, and then Anita and Flora from downstairs in the Finance Department, and Kimberly and Audra. So I hope you all notice we are passionate about our city. We do want it to look great when people come into town. And I was supervising because if you ask my husband, I rocked at it. I'm such a good supervisor. So anyway, we did get a lot done. Picked the hottest day of the summer. And so that was a little rough, but I wanted to give a shout out to those employees because it was awesome. So it was not easy. And that thank you.
Thank you. Our employees do. lot of times people don't really think of the employees, but they are really, to be honest with you, they are overwhelmed with the amount of work that they have, and they do a good job. So we really, I know for myself, I just want to say thank you for what they do for the community and the citizens of this community. So thank you very much. Anything else, Mr. Rubin?
No, that's it tonight.
No report. Okay.
Sorry.
I just want to say thank everyone for attending tonight, and anybody who spoke out earlier, we will take all that into consideration. Moving forward. And, thanks again. Entertain a motion to adjourn. Second. Call roll, please.
Bono?
Yes.
Griego? Yes. Ogletree? Yes. Shu?
Yes.
Thurman?
Yes.
Williamson?
Yes.
Rico?
Yes. Have a good evening.